Poetically Creative Mind podcast hosted by me, BM the Poet. This podcast is for people with a creative mind who need a little inspiration. I will be interviewing everyday people with creative minds, doing original poetry for myself and others, having inspirational conversation, and more. This podcast will be available wherever you get your podcast from. My next guest is an author and poet. His love for poetry began at an early age. He has continued to develop his craft. After attaining his master's degree in network and communication management, he went on to work in IT for several years. Due to some career setbacks, Marcus was able to focus on his poetry, which led him to release his first poetry book, A World of Words, Thought and Intimate Feelings, which delves into his personal and emotional experiences throughout his life. He has also released his first installment of short stories called The Bakery on Kindle Villa. Through all the setbacks and misfortunes, Marcus has been able to find a light that he can shine with his words. Ladies and gentlemen, I would like to welcome you, author Marcus Nelson. How are you doing today, sir?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm pretty good. I can't complain at all. For those that don't know you, could you tell the people a little bit about yourself?
Sure. My name is Marcus Nelson. I was born and raised in Chicago, Illinois. I have a master's and bachelor's degree in network and communications management. I've been working in the IT field for about 7-8 years now. I've been writing since third grade, but I didn't really get into writing until probably high school and college. I had a chance to do a lot of research papers, and one of my big advocates at that time before she passed was my aunt. She would always read a lot of my work, and she loved it. And one of the things that she always told me was to keep going because she really felt that I did a great job at writing. So after college, I just started reading some books. I started reading 50 Shades of Grey, and I kind of like that kind of style of writing. But then I said, I'm ready to venture into my own writing style, and that's how I was able to come up with the book. Been writing poems since about 2002, 2003.
So what made you decide to want to write a poetry book?
So a lot of my friends, well, I have a close circle of friends who have always loved my work, and they've always told me that this is great and you shouldn't hide it. It's time for you to shine and share with the world. And it was a long time before I was actually able to finally get comfortable with openly sharing my poems with more people. But the more I did that, more people just kept saying, "You need to share it. You need to share it." Over time, I lost my job in October of last year. And in the downtime, I was still working on poems because that's like my second passion to computers. I was just researching online on Facebook and Instagram, and I came across a published author. Her name is Dee Evans. And just reaching out because I was dealing with writer's block. And I was just asking her kind of for some advice and found out that she was actually a life coach. And just through conversation, we talked over the phone, and she told me about her services, and she helped me overcome the writer's block and walked me through a lot of the steps of becoming a published author. Yeah, and that's kind of where I am now. And also working, talking to Teresa James as well. She's been very helpful as well in this
Oh my
process.
God. She's the reason I'm right here and you're right here.
Yes, exactly. So I have to give her a shout out because her Facebook group, I love it. I just love the spirit that it has. The willingness to help. That's always something that I've had in me since I was little. So just to be able to connect with her spirit and the members in her group is just it's phenomenal.
You said you had writer's block. For people out there who tend to hit that wall, which a lot of us do, what are some of the things that help you overcome that block?
So one of the things that I've learned over time is it's going to happen, especially if you're dealing with a lot of things. Like in my case, I had been looking for a job for almost a year. I lost a friend recently.
Sorry to hear about
Um,
that. Sorry to hear about
Thanks.
that.
I also lost a couple of people at church recently as well. So a lot of that, and for me, played a factor. But as I was working with my life coach, the one thing that I learned is you have to just keep pushing through it, even if you just write like maybe a one line or two lines a day, just to keep your brain, moving and flowing, just so that you can continue to stay in that mindset. Because over time, it's going to come. For some, it may take days, months. For me, it was almost a year. So
Wow.
you just have to keep pushing through it and just tackling, whatever you're dealing with in life, because that could definitely impact, your ability to write. And for me, I use writing as my utensil to overcome a lot of the things that I've overcome.
Yeah, that's how I kind of got back into writing as well, is using it as a type of therapy. Because my therapist told
Yes.
me to find something that I enjoy doing, and I enjoy drawing, but writing, trying to draw things. I have bad arthritis in my hands, carpal tunnel and stuff, so it made it real complicated to just sit there and continuously draw. And with poetry, you can just press a button on your phone and talk into it and say it, which has helped me out a ton.
Exactly. And that's why I love writing, is because I've always wanted to learn how to draw, but I was just never good at it. So for me, being able to use my words to give that person a visualization is just as powerful.
Yeah, the words make you feel a different type of way.
Exactly.
So tell us a bit about your book.
Sure. So it's called World of Words, Thoughts, and Intimate Feelings. And the book covers just it's a lot about me, relationships, heartaches, breakups, the ups and downs of things that I've dealt with in life. And then I also have a special section that has more intimate poems that I've done. So it's just like a little bit of everything for everybody. I think the way this book is set up, I think at least one poem can touch somebody that reads this book.
That's always a great thing about poetry. As I always say, that you can always find a way to touch at least one person with something.
Yeah, that's always the goal. And like I said, I love to write, so I really hope that anyone who purchases the book enjoys it.
So most men tend to avoid talking about feelings and intimate things that go on in their life. So what inspired you to focus on that with your poetry?
I think for that very reason, I don't think that there's a big enough representation for us to be able to do such a thing. So, being able to be vulnerable and sharing it with the world and allowing people uh, to see and feel what I've gone through in life, and that's kind of where the topic of a world of words, thoughts, and intimate feelings came from, is for that very reason. I want people to be able to see what I see when I wrote these poems, feel what I feel, and everything that comes with it.
Yeah, that's always a powerful tool, being able to have people feel what you've experienced and kind of relive some of their things that they went through your words.
Yes, indeed. A couple of people reached out to me recently, and they told me about a couple of the poems that really touched them. Actually, one of them is one of my favorite ones. It's actually called "How Far Have We Come." It's probably my most favorite one out of the whole book.
Okay, well, maybe you can share that one with us later.
Okay.
Okay, now I see the bakery. Tell me about that. Is that something that you wrote?
I did. So around the time that I was reading Fifty Shades of Grey, I just felt that, I wanted to do I wanted to stretch my writing, and my writing style. So I wanted to get into short stories, and The Bakery is like the very first short story that I ever wrote. And they have a new platform on Amazon called Kindle Vella. And what I did was I broke down a lot of the short story into different sections, just to kind of gain more of an audience and to get a feel for how people like the bakery. So the bakery is just pretty much a story of a young man who he's taking over this bakery that his grandfather left after he passed away. His father's not able to run the shop, so he ends up meeting a woman, and they end up connecting. And I don't want to give too much away because you'd have to read more into the story itself. But also, I've gotten a lot of feedback because the way I ended it, I kind of left it open ended. So a lot of people were saying, we want more of the bakery, we want more of the bakery. So I've actually been working on extending the story out a little bit more, thinking possibly of actually turning it into a an actual short story it's in itself. So hopefully more to come with that.
I think that would be a great idea for you because you already have something in the works and people enjoy it. So you might as well continue to let them enjoy it.
Exactly.
You know,
Yeah, at first I was a little hesitant about it because I thought that I where I left it, I could just kind of leave it up for interpretation. But if your fans love your work and they want more, you have to do your best to give them the best.
yeah, that is definitely true. So, with you continuously working on the bakery, do you have plans on releasing another poetry book as well?
I actually am working on that now. So the next poetry book that I'm working on, it's going to be more adult themed. The way I write, I'm not as descriptive as some of the other writers out there, because what I love with my writing style is being able to keep it more intimate, so that a person can enjoy, the moment without seeing and feeling too much of the moment.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I'm definitely working on another book. I'm about 10 pages into it right now. I've come up with about 20 different topics that I have in mind. So I'm really excited about this next project.
It sounds like it's going to be very interesting, and I look forward to it. And once you have those books completed, you're more than welcome to come back on the show.
Okay, appreciate it.
No problem, no problem at all. We spoke about people reading your poetry and reaching out to you about how it made them feel. So, how does that affect your work and what you put out for people?
Deeply. The more feedback that I get, the better. Because, like I said, the way I write, I don't think any of my poems are similar, and if they are, it's done purposely. So I would say the ones that on the feedback that I've gotten so far, especially from Black males, they definitely are able to relate to one the one that I told you about earlier. How far have we come? I think that when if you've dealt with a lot of things in life, you can definitely relate to that.
Okay, well, since you brought that up, would you mind sharing that poem for us?
Sure. Okay, it's called How Far Have We Come? We were taught that we are equal, we are one. But tell me, how far have we really come? If color does not matter, why do we have to struggle? When it comes to jobs, why do we have to fight so much harder than the other man? Why must we be told to leave and go back to the motherland? Tell me, if things are better than in the past, then tell me how far have we come? Why do we have to struggle to gain power and success? Why do we have to struggle to get a chance to walk to the beat of our own drum? Why do we have to be the ones living in the slums, living in poverty, living with our backs aching and bent over slumped? Why do our counterparts get to live freely and enjoy the sun? Tell me, how far have we come? Privilege does not exist for us because it was not meant to be. Privilege is only meant for those who are truly free. I can tell you for a fact that is not me. If it were, I could go anywhere without people just staring. If the world were accepting, everyone would be more caring. Tell me, how far have we come? Not far if the world walks over us as their feelings are numb. Educated, raised right in these times is not easy. For the mere fact that I am different, most people will look right into my eyes and still never see me. On the same token, I am no different, except maybe the color of my skin. It feels like people are scared to want to be bothered with me as if I were some kind of sin. Love in this world is not equal. We cannot call everyone a sister or brother. People are not loving and caring enough to the point of us considering them like a father or mother. It really does feel like mercy is for the weak because when they look at me, I wonder if they see me. Do they think I should be living in the streets? Hatred is everywhere, and I feel it amongst others, but even in my own community. How can I succeed if it feels like the whole world does not see me? How can I make it if the world is looking at me blindly? Tell me, how far have we come?
That was beautiful, man.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I
Like you said,
get emotional just just going back over it. Wow, it's the first time I've actually read it out loud in a while. So,
yeah, being a black man myself, I definitely really felt your words.
it's tough. It's tough, but the one thing that I've learned is even as it's tough out there, you're going to get turned down. I've been turned down many of times trying to find work, and I just keep pushing. That's really all you can do in this world is just keep pushing and strive to be the best that you can be.
Well, I'm kind of happy and not happy that you lost your job because now it gave you a chance to focus on your poetry and your book a bit more. And I think that'll be a great step for your life.
I agree. I agree. I'm waiting to hear back some good news for some, things that are coming through the pipeline. But I will say that this time off gave me a chance to mentally just get myself back in order and figure out who I am and who I want to be in this world. And definitely being a writer is one of those things. And I'm really happy uh, that my life coach, gave me that extra push that I needed to get to where I am right now.
Yeah, we definitely appreciate her. You said D. Evans.
Yes.
Yes, we definitely appreciate her for helping you. And like I said, that poem it will resonate with a lot of people, and can open a lot of people's eyes as well.
Yeah, I definitely hope so.
Well, tell the people where they can reach you so they can check out some of your work.
Sure. So I'm mostly on Instagram right now. I'm still slowly branding, myself, but my Instagram is author M.A. Nelson. So that's author M.A. Nelson. And the book is currently on Amazon, but I'm working to get it distributed in some other places as well.
Well, I'll tell you this. Check out the episode I did with Laura Wright, the one previous, because she talks about what was the name of that? I didn't write it down, but she mentions it a couple of times where she has her books up for sale.
Okay.
And she said since she put it on there, it's been flying. And she said it's been selling in a bunch of different countries as well. Because she said she did the Amazon thing, but it really wasn't moving for her.
Okay, sounds good. Yep, and I saw you on Spotify, so that's always a definitely good platform. So
yeah,
that's one of my favorite places.
I'm slowly getting there.
But yeah, I'm really excited for you as well. Like I was saying earlier, we need more representation. So, you doing this is definitely a good thing. So, I definitely appreciate you for taking your time, to meet with me.
I appreciate that. But yeah, hey, It's about helping each other.
Exactly.
Not enough of that in the world. So
yeah, we need to keep the village going. We don't want it to die out.
nah, not at all. Well, I appreciate you for your time. I thank you for coming on. Is there anything that you would like to say before you go?
I just want to, say thank you for allowing me to come on and, share my story and part of my life with you and your audience. And again, if you guys, are interested in reading the book, it's currently on Amazon, and I really hope that you can find at least one poem that really touches your soul, just as this whole book and this journey has touched mine over time.
Well, one of your poems has already touched mine, and I'm sure once people listen, it will touch theirs.
I appreciate it.
Thank you for joining us. You have a good evening.
You too.
Thanks for coming on this journey with me. Please follow me at BM the Poet on Instagram and BM the Poet on Twitter. Please rate it 5 stars, subscribe, and share. Have a good evening.